Oh yeah, sure. And Kathy, in what she was saying about the report, was saying how pedagogy should lead, and I absolutely wholeheartedly, from a practice point of view. So I think it's interesting what Al was saying about evidence and what is your evidence and what are you going to use, and being open to different sources of evidence being important, because that's always been true for the work that I've done over the years, is to say, well, practice is a form of evidence alongside academic research, alongside case studies, and to a degree anecdotes, and it's being able to see those different forms of evidence, and then I guess the 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 thing that strikes me is we talk about solutions, technology as a solution. And that speaks to me because my first form of research and gathering evidence was working with teachers and myself doing action research in schools. And that idea of focusing on something very small, taking a very specific look at something so it's low stakes. You're not trying to do too much. You're not having too many variables. And you're just saying, what is it about this that I can improve or I can build on? And I think that's where pedagogy can really remain central in the work that you do. And I think for me, that idea of technology enhancing and the idea of technology being a solution brings me all the way back to my kind of action research roots, if you like, of saying, well, in actual fact, am I clear about the problem that I'm trying to solve here? And what is the learning problem that I'm trying to solve? And then what technology will enable that to be enhanced, to be improved, or a barrier to be reduced or even eradicated? So I think my approach has always been around that. So opting for an action research approach and saying, right, really being clear about the problem that you're trying to solve, and really drilling into that with others. And that's Al's point about collaboration, not doing it on your own, actually working with others to be really clear about, is it engagement? Is it access to the curriculum? Is it a literacy issue? Is it a motivation issue? Is it just a real block in terms of an understanding? So something needs to be explained, as Kathy was saying, in a different way, or modeled in a slightly different way, or a different tool could use that in a different way. So there's those kinds of things as well that, again, keep the pedagogy central. And then the other thing that I've always try to do as best I can is to say, what are you doing that's working already? So what evidence do you have for something that's working already that might not be to do with technology, but that you could build in some technology? So again, you're reducing the risks, you're reducing the stakes, because you're actually enhancing technology, using technology, to enhance your pedagogy in an area where perhaps you're really strong already and you're very confident. So you haven't got a load of confidence to build in terms of a new pedagogical approach, and then you're layering on a new technological approach at the same time. So it's that idea of building on a model where you're building on your own expertise. You know that something works quite well, and you're asking, okay, I've got a problem, a learning problem that I want to solve. I want to meet the learner's needs in this way. How do I do that? And how might technology enable me to do that? And then you come all the way to the points that have been made before around being really clear about, I've identified the problem. So what do I want success? What do I think success looks like? But also, I think, Al, you mentioned it, that co-construction, that opportunity to be able to say, what do the learners think success will look like as well? And bringing them into the conversation, involving them and their expertise when it comes to their own learning capabilities, their own experiences, so that together you can build that. But all of that stays very much focused. You can see I'm doing this a lot, on pedagogy being central, and not moving away. And by the pedagogy being central, it means the learner is central, and you're constantly looking at ways to meet them where they are. So I think that's where that sort of sits with me, and goes back to my own roots of practice, and then more recently my own research around what evidence is going to be most useful to me in this situation.